Dokkan just released the most interesting tag unit yet, but what does the community think? How's it, everybody? Link here. We're back for another Dokkan Battle video. In today's video, we are roughly 24 hours after the reveal of the brand new Tanabata LR, or now the Transcendent Dokkan Campaign LR. Golden, Frieza, and Gogeta. They are a tag unit, a surprising one at that. I don't think anybody expected this as a possibility for this celebration. So in this video, we are going to talk a little bit about what the community thinks of this. After all, we did put out a little post on Twitter, Discord, and on our community post asking for our thoughts. What do you think of this unit? Seems as though this unit is quite divisive. It is a super and extreme class tag unit, which means its priority is extreme class, making this our first ever extreme class Gogeta. I mean, funny enough, but it's an interesting combo. So I was curious, what is the community thinking after the reveal? So let's go ahead and let's start and let's look at some of the responses here on Twitter. So our first response comes from Heart Striker. Need to check the sugar levels. The amount of fusions in 1 year is becoming unhealthy. Okay, so Heart definitely is not liking the idea of another Gogeta to be added to the game so soon. After all, we just had the AGL Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, the Gods Just Easy Aid. We had a Gogeta during 10th anniversary. I could see how they're overdoing it. And Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta Just Easy Aid as well, right? So I could definitely see how people are feeling like they might be overdoing it with the Gogetas. I mean, comparatively, right? Vegito got 2 units this year premium, the 10th anniversary LR, and I guess the blues are technically a Vegito unit. So yeah, but I mean, just in general, right? Fusions this year is definitely year 10 has been the year of fusions for sure. Jaren, they seem good, but not too impressed with the animations, especially the Gogeta side. They don't have the impact I'd like from a Gogeta. So this is an interesting point, and it was one that I mentioned in our reaction video, right? When we were watching the animations for Gogeta, I think aside from his Dokkan Original Gallic Gun, I'm pretty sure almost all of his animations, including his I think the active skill they're all reused animations from the STR Gogeta. I think one of the frames comes from the Fizz LR as well. So I mean, it is interesting. It's definitely a choice to reuse that much of the animations as well. So yeah, I definitely get where they're coming from there. It was something I had noticed too. Frieza's animations look great though, right? It's the Gogeta side. I mean, at least in my opinion. So, but I definitely see where Jaren here is coming from. Our good old buddy Joe saying here, lots of mixed thoughts on it. Not a fan of dual extreme super exchange units so far. Would have preferred Frieza and Broly after Frieza mercs Paragus, but need more time to test in game. Alright, I always love that, you know, Joe always ends his thoughts with this, right? Like, Joe is very meticulous about testing the units, and I like that he likes to reserve his thoughts before giving his full analysis whether a unit is good, right? We can't really say if the unit itself is perfect or great or bad until we actually test them, and I appreciate that Joe is willing to do that. Although I haven't seen too many other people calling them bad. I think most people agree that from what we can see on paper, they actually look good. I think a lot of the concerns are more so about the choice or the animations, and Joe shares the same concern here. With the Super and Extreme, it's like, yeah, there's a lot that can be done with Super and Extreme, right? Like, imagine, right, we saw this with Goku and Frieza from the Tournament of Power from the 10-year LR, plus now this character. And I mean, we could see things in the future like a exchange, like a tag, Majin Vegeta and Super Saiyan 2 Goku, or Super Saiyan 3 Goku, however they choose to do it for the Majin Buu saga. That would be great. I think the bigger issue is with this type of tag is not having the two classes swap types, right? Whoever the primary class is, the starting unit, that's the class of both cards, right? So in this case, Frieza and Gogeta, both classes are extreme. Gogeta is extreme in the Goku Frieza, same thing. Goku was extreme as well. I think they should swap, or just like their categories share the class types, right? So it should be the character should be considered both super and extreme. I mean, at least in my opinion, I think that would definitely help team building out a lot on this, because what you're going to run into with this character is, like, even though they're on Fused Fighters, they're not going to work on the Blues team unless you run extra Future Saga units, which, you know, may or may not always work out in your favor. Ichigo, very good unit, very good concept. The unit looks very fun. Kit's kind of weird, and Chance the Garden in 2025 is kind of butt. Gogeta having guaranteed dodge with 10 orbs is nice. Since you're running the Tech Gods with him, he can also has uncapped support, which means his up to 230 attack and defense for all allies. So this is on the Gogeta version of the card. So if we actually come here just to show you what he's talking about here, on the Gogeta side of things. So when we look at Gogeta, all right, his I think it's on here. It is. Okay, so no, it's his super attack effect. Where is that? Is that it doesn't show it there? Okay, let's go back here real quick. Here it is. So it's on the super attack effect, right? He's getting allies defense 50% for 1 turn, self-excluded, and now that's important because if you're using Gogeta's active, right, so this is what he means by it being uncapped. I think the math is a little off there, but what he means by that being uncapped is that, right, if we look at Gogeta's active skill here, let's see, here it is, right? Gogeta's active skill can be activated when there are 3 or more superclass allies on the team. It raises attack 540%, causes all damage, and defense 540%, and changes all key spheres to tech key spheres. So right here, it's because of this active skill. On Gogeta's active skill, once you gain all 23 key spheres there that you're going to get from using his active skill, he will, where is it here, for every key sphere obtained, right, he gets attack and defense to allies 10%. So that is pretty much 240% plus defense for every for the super that he does, which is 50%. And then remember, because he's getting the 23 key, he's launching, I think, for every 5 key spheres he does, he gets an extra super attack, which means that, you know, he's doing like 5, yeah, here it is, for every 5 key spheres. So he's doing 5 supers there, right? So in it being uncapped, it just, like, that's insane amount of offense combined with 240% attack and 290% defense, actually. So, like, that's actually kind of crazy, his active skill turn. I'm curious to see, like, how much overall damage that is, right? But he does bring up an excellent point here. So moving on, Mega Knight's supremely good animations, especially the Gogeta part, with a very good kit, lovely concept, and will be summoning. Now, I'm not one to judge here, especially when it comes to taste in animations, but I'm not sure if Mega Knight's here is kidding or not, because a lot of people seem like if there is one big beef with this card, it is definitely with Gogeta's animation. So I'm not sure if he's taking this take, because I love Mega Knight's, but sometimes, right, he likes to do a little bit of trolling there. So I'm not sure if that's a troll or if genuinely serious. If genuinely serious, Mega Knight's, I am curious, which part of the animations is it that you enjoy the most? Moving on, Ali. In my opinion, the worst possible thing to release. We got things like God Vegeta and God Goku and their respective blue forms. Who needs this? Who needs this unit? But no, just release a unit with reused animations from 2020, 5 years ago. It's BS, and the new animations look terrible. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about. A lot of people seem to be taking beef with the animations, and I agree, right? Redoing, so I'll save my full thoughts on this on the beginning, but I do kind of agree that it is a bit too soon to be redoing Dragon Ball Super Broly, and I'll give my full thoughts at that once we go through everybody else. I want Tren, and never have lost interest in a unit quickly, especially considering it is a Gogeta. Yeah, I mean, this really does tell you, right? You know, knowing Tren here, it's I think people are Gogetaed out. I think that's really what it is. People are Gogetaed out. We've got a lot of fusion characters, and especially a lot of Gogetas this year. And so I think this one might be overdoing it. And plus, I also know that Tren, like me, wanted to see Trunks come out of this celebration, right? Because there's a lot of Z Future stuff that's on the docket for EZAs. So who knows? Maybe part 2 is somehow a tag unit related to Z Future. We'll see. They didn't exactly specify a theme, so maybe the theme is like these crazy tag units. Moving on, God Poutini just says, love it. Okay, alright, not much explanation there, but curious to, if you're watching this, what is it about the card that you do like so much? Bag on, grinding it in because it means more Omega buffs. Now, this is true. Frieza's actually going to be insane on Omega's team. With all the buffs that Frieza's getting, plus all the debuff from Omega, plus all the debuffs combined with support, right? Frieza's just going to be working phenomenally on that team. Plus, you know, Frieza's going to be contributing with his own attack and defense lowering, and debuffs. So, I love Barku and Kiana. I think the unit is a fantastic concept, and you love how unexpected it was. It just made it more hype. The only things I can see people complain about is the tag characters, another fusion, but also a major celebration with a new mechanic under Dokkan's belt. No one was complaining with the standby units, although people did complain about it being all Gokus. Okay, so I think I understand what Barku is trying to say here, is that they've been spamming the tag mechanic this year, but didn't really see many people complaining about the standby. Well, the year standby came out, we only got... Who were the standbys that year? It was the 8-year anniversary plus World Tournament Goku. That's it, wasn't it? Oh no, Trunks had a standby. So we had World Tournament Goku. We had Fizz Trunks, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and then so there's 5. There were 5 that year. Versus this year where we had Gogeta, Goku and Frieza, Kale and Caulifla, Rose, the Blues, the Hybrids, and now this card. So versus 8. I mean, it's not that much of a difference, but when we're talking 8 out of 12 monthly releases, it does start to sound like a lot. So I could see why people might feel that they're overdoing the tags. I personally don't feel like they are. I mean, I like tags. I think they're a very interesting concept when they're done right. The hybrids are definitely a variation of it being done right, and so do I think this Gogeta. But I definitely understand where people might be coming from, and I do feel this is a little different than the standby mechanic, because this one actually affects things greater when we talk about terms of categories. But I mean, otherwise not that bad. But I do agree. I love the concept. It was unexpected. I don't think anybody expected them to do that. So I do agree there. Okay, so it looks like those are all the responses we have on Twitter. So let's hop on over. Let's check out the responses here on our community post. So over here on our community post, our buddy Angel makes a makes a great comment. We got Extreme Class Gogeta before LR Kid Buu. Isn't that something? That is something, isn't it? It's actually kind of funny to think about. When I had first read this comment, I think I was at work, and I darn near spit out my coffee when I heard it. It was pretty funny. Okay, I hope I'm reading this right. Guilherme Souza? Guilherme? Absolute Cinema, insane unit, really cool duo, plus amazing easy A to pair, referring to the AGL Frieza. Love the unit, can elevate other Gogeta units like Fizz, SSJ Gogeta, and AGL Super Gogeta. To have no flaws turn 1. Little confused on this part because, right, the support that the other Gogeta is giving only applies to his active skill turn, which means AGL Super Gogeta and Fizz LR Gogeta. I'm assuming he's referring to the 9th year anniversary Gogeta. They're not turn 1 characters. You're not seeing them until turn 5. So I'm not sure what they're talking about here. And then Frieza has no support on his, other than his defensive support on turn 1. And I guess he has a target which can protect, I guess. But then if you're using Frieza's target, you can't use Gogeta's. So not sure what he means by that here. But I do agree. Great pair, and it'll be fun to see him boost up these other movie hero type characters on the team. Eugene Park about the weirdest combination, given they didn't fight together in the movie, but we'll take the categories. Yeah, I mean this is what I mean about the tag done right here, right? The categories, right? You have 2 units that are on 2 wildly different categories, right? If we look here at the categories, movie bosses, movie heroes, transformation boosts, gifted warriors, inhuman deeds, full power, wicked bloodline, Dragon Ball seekers, terrifying conquerors, target Goku, revenge, space traveling warriors, master evolution, sworn enemy, super bosses, successors, fusion, Kamehameha, final trump card, powerful comeback, time limits, superheroes, fused fighters, accelerated battle, earth protecting heroes. Like, this is an insane roster, right? When we went, so having 2 characters so wildly different like this creates an insane type of team building, especially when it leads both the 2 major categories there, movie bosses and movie heroes. So yeah, I definitely think that Eugene makes a great point here about the categories. Taiga, totally beyond my expectations, but solid kit and cool with it, though I'm thinking Gogeta is the golden child of Dokkan now. I mean, this is where we insert the always has been meme. Yeah, there was like a brief year where where Dokkan seemed to really put effort into Vegito type characters, but those times are long gone. Seems like since Omatsu took over, things are really going towards Gogeta. Now, last response here, if we get free tickets, which we will, unfortunately won't, I will not summon, we will go for Broly and Paragus, which a lot of people are thinking part 2 will be Broly and Paragus. Now, we should get free Tokante tickets, I believe, since this isn't a GDC. I imagine we will get Dokkan tickets just like we did for Kale and Caulifla as part of Golden Week, since it's just 1 LR. So expect that, right? They are releasing on the 28th, so the Dokkan Day tickets would be 2 days after. We'll know in tomorrow's day to download for sure. But there should be Dokkan Day tickets. There should be Rainbow tickets, which should be available via Part 2, just like before. Well, actually, probably sooner than Part 2, because remember, this is going to be the Tanabata celebration, which means we should be getting the Tanabata banner. Well, actually, they may not even do that this year, considering they returned everybody on GDC. We'll have to see how they decided to handle that, but at the very least, we should be getting Dokkan Day tickets. We should be getting Rainbow tickets for just summoning on the banners. Who's to say that the Rainbow tickets will work like they did during GDC? That would be cool if they did, but I don't see any reason not to use your free summons if you do get them. So that does seem to be all of our responses for both Twitter and for both Twitter and our community post. I think those of us, those that had commented on Discord, also commented on Twitter. So we're not really going to pull up that. But I mean, this is crazy. This is actually, they are a good unit, and from what I'm seeing from most people like the pick, which is interesting, right? Because one of the big reasons people didn't want Tournament of Power for this celebration, even though when we thought the hint was Tournament of Power, is that it was too soon. And I'm kind of one of those people that are in that boat. I feel it is too soon to revisit Dragon Ball Super Broly. Dragon Ball Super Broly, Gogeta and Broly were both featured in the 9th anniversary, just barely over a year ago to this date. So it just seems too soon to me. Not that it can't be done, I just think that it's a little soon. Secondly, judging, and I felt the same about the hybrids too, right? It feels like they wanted this card to be Frieza. Frieza is where the animations are at. The Frieza is the Dokkan Fest. Frieza is seemingly the center of the celebration. He was the hint. However, it feels like they wanted it to be Frieza, but didn't trust Frieza to carry a major celebration such as this Transcendent Dokkan Campaign, and therefore kind of just threw Gogeta in there. I don't know how to explain it. It feels like Gogeta's here just to help sell the card. Not to say he's not bad, but the fact that they reused his animations instead of giving him something really to focus on makes me feel like they wanted Frieza to be the LR and then just tossed Gogeta in. That's to say nothing of the kits. I think the kit is amazing, and I like the concept of the unit. This is a really cool concept, and quite honestly, this is how tags should be done. None of this fusionless nonsense, right? Take two characters where they are so wildly different, put them together, and make them tag, right? Swapping between, in this case, Super and Extreme Class. Like, it's such a great concept, and there's so much more potential to come from it. Plus, right, I mean, this is essentially original. I mean, I guess you can't, I mean, it's not that unoriginal, considering, right, like, if you think about how the movie played out, I mean, it's essentially what happened, right? They do tag, right? Gogeta and Goku and Vegeta essentially tag Frieza in, right? When they're like, all right, bye Frieza, see ya, you handle him. And then they go to fuse, and then they come back, and then they do, which is the tag animation that plays when it's turn 3, right? And then Gogeta shows up and is like, I'm the fusion of Vegeta and Goku, right? So, I mean, it works. And I do like the unit for originality. I just hope that this means we're done with fusions for a while. I think a lot of people are burned out from fusions and burned out from Dragon Ball Super. So hopefully that means we can start looking at other places for these major celebrations coming up towards the end of the year, and of course leading into 11th anniversary. So guys, that is the video. If you liked the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and in the comments down below, let us know what are your thoughts on the Gogeta and Frieza. If you didn't get a chance to respond in the comments to the community post or to the Twitter, let us know in the comments on this video. All right, what do you think of this new unit? Like I said, I think they are a good unit. I do like Gogeta and his support. Frieza having a turn 1 taunt is amazing for a lot of these short fights. I just not sure how I feel specifically about the whole pick being so close to the 9th anniversary, but let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.